Om Vang me manasi pratishthitam mano me vachi pratishthitam aviravirma edhi vedasyama ani sthaha shrutam me ma prahasihi anena dhitena horatran Samdadhami Ritam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanmamavadhu Tadvaktaramavadhu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram Avatu Vaktaram Om Shanti Shanti, Shanti. Evano Agni Amriteshu Purviya Dhih Pipaya Brihat Diveshu Manusha Duhana Dhenur Vrajaneshu Karave Tmana Shatinam Pururupam Ishani. O pristine fire, even thus the thought has nourished our human things in the immortals. Very interesting. Even thus the thought, capital T, has nourished our human things in the immortals, in the great heavens. The thought is our milk cow. Of herself she milks for the doer of works in the battles and in his speed to the journey, the many forms and the hundreds of the treasure. Eva, thus, Nach, for us, Agni, or Agni, Amriteshu, the immortals, or Purviya, or the pristine, or the first one. Fire is one of the first who started the journey. Actually, he is the first. Without him, there is no journey. Dhih, the thought, Pipaya, has increased or nourished, or put it otherwise, made fat, made grow and strong. Brihad Diveshu, in the vast heavens, Manusha, our human things. That's how Sri Aurobindo translates. It can be translated differently, that Dhih Manusha, as if the thought, our thought, mental thought of a mental being. But I think it's much better in this way to think that the higher thought has increased in the vaster heavens our human forms. Our human forms became more and more prominent and more divine. They acquired divine properties. They found their true purpose and meaning. They were enlightened. Suddenly that which was mundane and was down to earth became heavenly. Duhana dhenu, duhana, interesting word. Having milked, or I have to say, it can be also passive, with the passive sense. She milks by herself. Dhenu, the milking cow. Karave, to the karu, to the one who does the work, who does the sacrifice. Vrijaneshu, in the enclosures. Sri Aurobindo translates in the battles. Battles as enclosures, interesting, as twisted, crooked way of perceiving things, where the crookedness is dominating. There is a battle. Where the crookedness, there is a battle. Where there is an enclosure, suffocation of the freedom, there is a battle. And Vrijana is actually the stables for the cows, the enclosures, in one way, and in the other translation, it is the battle suddenly. Enclosure is a battle, because it has the psychological meaning. Well, when we unfold these psychological meanings, we learn so much about our psychology. That enclosure is the battle, actually.
What is the cow thought? Milking by herself, the cow thought?
Yes, she is the cow. Yes, cow is the mother, and the thought, capital T, it is this supramental power which feeds us all with truth. Otherwise, we would not exist. That truth is being consumed by us and spent in time and space, and we think we exist by ourselves. We do not know that we are constantly fed by the thought, who is our milk cow. If the milk cow withdraws its nourishment, we would drop dead. We would disappear. We would not even drop dead. We would simply stop being. There would be no dead anymore. So it is she who is the thought, and he identifies her with the dih. Dih and dhenoch, duhana. It's all feminine gender. It is she who he is for the doer of the sacrifice in his enclosures, in his battles, by herself, tmana, by her own body. Tman is the Vedic word which means the same as Atman in the post-Vedic. Atman with A prefix, Tman is without A prefix.
So it is like saying, sorry.
Sorry, go ahead. Finish your thought.
It is like saying that without this thought, we would perish. It is what keeps us alive.
Oh, it's absolutely so. From the point of view of Sri Aurobindo and integral yoga and Upanishads and everyone. So the supermind is the creator, yes, who creates with his milk of knowledge and power, nourishment, all these projections, so to say, these outcomes which we represent. We represent a deeper world behind. On the surface, we see ourselves as if independent, but truly speaking, we are the product of something. And the source is there in the milking cow who is feeding us constantly. Otherwise, why should we live, really? Breathe, live, walk, see, talk, study. Where all this coming from? All this energy, nourishment. It's not self-made. It's not that me making it. I'm just consuming it. I'm the consumption product, the product which is consuming constantly the spirit and putting it into the perspective of manifestation. Otherwise, how?
Vladimir, can you explain the relationship of Agni to the supermind or to the thought with the capital T?
Agni is that, how to say, representative of that thought, power thought, yes, who is doing here the work of transformation, making it more and more suitable for that higher realm to manifest in time and space. And it takes time because to create the individualized supreme is not an easy task. It should be obvious to all of us already, knowing a bit of Sri Aurobindo and what he says. It would be very difficult to understand for people who are coming from the traditional thought of India, Mayavada and Advaita. What is individualized supreme? But for us, and this is what the Vedas are about, yes? They're always working on this, how to create the manifestation, the divine manifestation, the divine life. That's their preoccupation, not to disappear somewhere and dissolve in the spirit, but to create the divine life in the material framework. And that's what they sacrifice. Yeah, that is the power of the sacrifice, of the transformation.
Okay, thank you.
He is the outcome, so to say. He is the son of Rudra, of Shiva, who is the source. Yeah? Behind Agni, there is his father, whom he represents in action. So Agni is immortal among mortals. It is that power of immortality which is constantly transforming mortality into the form more suitable for the spirit. And of course, in that sense, it represents the thought with capital T. And Agni is on every level, on the physical, vital, mental, and beyond. Yes. And when he grows and reaches Brihadiveshu in the high heaven, that thought, where the thought is, then he becomes totally pure divine force. So with her body, Tmana, with herself, she, in our impulsion forward, Ishani, bestows upon us, gives us Shatinam Pururupam, the hundredfold, many-formed wealth. And it is true. We are all the product of that nourishment, and we are at the same time.
And we live in a stable.
Yeah, in the stables we are. Yeah, there are many stables, Vrijaneshu. We are in many enclosures on every level. We are struggling to break through those borders and to be free.
He milks for the doer of works, only for the doer of works.
Yes, only for him. But since we are all him, doer of works, whether we want it or not, because nature will do through us her work, her sadhana, she is doing her yoga. Yeah. She doesn't care what we want. And then we complain all the time, leave us be, why do you push us always, create troubles? And she doesn't care. She pushes, pushes, pushes. She has somewhere to go, and we want to stay. And that's the conflict, the enclosure in our being. And sometimes also she creates enclosures. She finds the balance she wants to keep for a while, and we want to break through, which is rather rare. It's rather opposite.
Vladimir, sorry, go ahead.
No.
Sorry. Oh, I didn't get Ishani. What is the meaning of Ishani?
Oh, right. It's the word which is used only in this hymn, only in this verse.
Okay.
Ishan, streaming out, pouring out, giving Ishan. From root Ish, most probably from each, which we have preshayati, ichati, kind of
Okay.
wishing, willing, impulse forward, yeah? Streaming out, pouring out, giving wealth. This is in the dictionary, but it is in locative Ishani. Yes, here only.
Okay.
From root Ish.
Okay, got it.
Knowing roots actually helps, because then you understand the general kind of meaning, general significance. which is always vaster than just specific meaning. It gives more scope for interpretation.
Vladimir, I had another question which was related to the thought with a capital T. So whenever they mention oceans, uh, are they really talking of thought oceans or the waters? When they say waters, do they mean streams of thought? I mean, usually I take it that way, but is that right?
Well, streams of thought. Well, it depends how we see thought. If that is that thought, capital T, supramental stream of consciousness power, then yes. They're like
Okay.
the currents of consciousness, which are focusing us on a particular way of being, a particular way of knowing ourselves. Yes, and that is that thought.
Not our mental thought. I didn't mean that. But see here, for example, it ties up with Aditi the cow, who is always feeding the farm. So it's I thought that it kind of ties up, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, yes, correct. Yeah. Sri Aurobindo loves thought. He is actually very thoughtful. He always used this thought as supramental with capital T.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. And he is actually also an interesting word. Etymologically is from the family of Dha. Dha, Dhi, Duhu, Dhri. And this family has this Dha establishing, fixing, yeah? Dhri holding, yeah? Duhu shaking, because you fix and you shake, you create duality by fixing. So the fixation is of consciousness is Dhi. Yes? When you concentrate your awareness upon some object of sense. So that capacity of consciousness to be concentrated upon anything, inner or outer, is Dhi, a higher capacity of thought. From here we have Dhyayati things, Dhyana thought or meditation, yeah? Dhiyo yonov prachodayat, yes? Who moves our dhiyah, we dhimahi, yes? We fix our thought upon. So that is that fixation or concentration, narrowing down, focusing upon something in one's own consciousness, that capacity.
This capacity has to be developed. Otherwise, it can waver and, it gets distracted easily.
Yeah. And this is the major faculty of the mind. If we speak about the faculties of consciousness, and we studied them quite a bit in other in other courses from the Upanishadic point of view, and how Sri Aurobindo explains the mind, manas. That's why he puts capital thought here with T, capital T, because he means exactly this. The capacity of the mind is concentration. This is the major faculty. Mind, manas, is known not by knowing. Manas doesn't know. Yeah? It's not the manas that knows. Manas is fixing consciousness upon any object of sense. And once we fix it, there are other faculties which start acting. If we can hold anything in our focal point of consciousness, anything, if you try to concentrate, you will see how difficult it is to hold anything longer than half a second. You cannot hold the thought more than 2 seconds. If you can, you may go into samadhi. But you will see that your thought is jumping. We spoke about this before, most probably. So if you fix your consciousness, for example, on the word Om, you will see that while saying Om, your thought is going titin, 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 titin. It doesn't stay. It doesn't stay on Om. Can you imagine you fix it? What will happen to you? You will go into trance. So this capacity to hold with which in the Yoga Sutras known as dhyana, also from the Dhi root actually, dhyana has the capacity, or our capacity to fix our consciousness without any effort upon anything and hold it without effort. And the description of dhyana is amazing. It's also not holding, it's not staying, interestingly, it floats around. So it is like a clarified butter. It floats around the object of sense, smoothly, uninterruptedly floats, but not staying, not totally. When it is staying, then it is samadhi. Boom, you are lost in the object. So this is all connected to this Dhi concept. When we read Dhi, all that comes to mind.
Vladimir, can the mind stay established upon a thought itself? Like we can do it upon an image or a sound?
Absolutely. This is the object of sense. Yes, it can be thought, it can be feeling, it can be anything. A concept, a word, object, outer object, inner object. Doesn't matter. It's the same process of fixing consciousness upon something and holding it. So in that sense, it's amazing. We know about this from Yoga Sutras. It's more there described. How we fix our consciousness upon anything. By the way, Yoga Sutras are only about this. How to fix consciousness upon something. Everything is needed only yama, niyama, dharana, the asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana. All of this needed only for one reason, to fix consciousness upon the object of sense. This is the long preparation of the whole being to be capable of a little bit longer hold on to the object of sense. Amazing, It's so difficult for us. Okay. Number 10. Vayam Agni Arvatava Suviriyam Brahmana Va Chitaye Ma Janan Ati Asmakam Dyumnam Adhipancha Krishtishu Ucha Suvarna Shushuchita Dushtaram. O fire, let us conquer a hero's strength by the war horse, Suviriyam, the hero strength. He comes once in a while to these definitions, the hero strength, the hero power, the hero soul. He adds hero, because Vira is the hero, yes? Suviriyam. He makes this association. The virya is actually the seed, but he makes association with the root. Hero strength by the war horse Arvata. Or let Arvata, or war horse, is that power which breaks through those enclosures. Or let us awake to knowledge beyond man by the word, Brahmanava, by the Brahman, by the word, by the mantra rising from the heart. Chitayema, may we become aware, Jananati, beyond beings who are born in the body. I will translate literally, Janan Ati, beyond Ati, Janan, those who are born in the body. Sri Aurobindo says, beyond man, by the word, to knowledge beyond man. Let our light shine out in the 5 nations, asmakam dyumnam adhi panchakrishtishu, panchakrishti. Krishti, interesting word. This is the 5 races. Panchakrishti is no Krishtaya. It's a Vedic term. He speaks on, we have them, yeah, Puru. There is the whole list of these very rare Aryan tribes or Aryan peoples or races. Puru, Druhyu, Anu. Maybe I will look into the dictionary, not to spoil this something. Krishti. There are 5 Panchakrishtayaha Aryan tribes, yes. Druhyu, Turvasa, Yadus of Krishna, Yadava. Yadu, Turvasa, Druhyu, Anu, and Puru, Pauravas. So we have Yadavah and Pauravah from the Mahabharata, who are 5 tribes of the Aryan tribes on earth. We have also Druhyus, Anu, and Turvasa. About these tribes, Sri Aurobindo speaks what Aryan means, that as the peoples who are working for the divine, who want the divine manifestation, who are working here, who are the workers of the divine on earth. It could be 5 races. Blavatsky speaks about 5 races on earth, yes, of which Aryan race is one of them. But Sri Aurobindo says that there are kind of more people. Most probably Aryan people are those who work for the divine. The rest are not Aryan. They are other people who are not working for the divine, yeah? Who are carried by nature most probably forward, who are consciously not participating in the sacrifice. So among Panchakrishtishu, may our light shine, Shushuchita, may it shine more and more, Suvarna, like the sun, Dushtaram, inviolable, invincible. O fire, may we conquer by the war horse perfect power. This is my interpretation. May we awake to the knowledge beyond man by the word rising from the heart. May our light shine over 5 noble races of men, like the invincible Swar world of the sun. Always very interesting. Whenever Veda speaks about power, like war horse, perfect power, may we conquer, there will be immediately the knowledge, the word. Yeah? May we awake to the knowledge beyond man by the word. So word or the knowledge and power, they always go together, but always. One and the other. When power is mentioned, the knowledge will be next. When knowledge is mentioned, power will be next. You will notice it, we will start noticing it. But interestingly here, there is va is used. Vayam Agni Arvata va Suviriyam Brahmana va Chitayema Jananati. This va creates a very strange sense, which is like either or. Something like we or Agni, either by the conquering power of the war horse, should arrive at perfect realization of power, or by the word rising from the heart, we should become aware of that which is beyond all born beings. Either or. So these are, doesn't matter by what means, yeah? Either by knowledge or by power, but we should come to that which is beyond. Yeah? And then number 11.
Vladimir, why or what sense did that make? Can you explain? I mean, what is your sense of that?
It's very
Why
beautiful.
or?
Why? Yeah. They are kind of making poetry flow. At the same time, they have this sense, you know, that doesn't matter by what means, but we have to arrive at this new status of consciousness power. Either by power means we arrive at consciousness, or by consciousness means we arrive at power. It's a little bit like tantric here, yes? Because we arrive at knowledge by power, it's tantra, or we arrive at power by knowledge, it's Veda. Eh? That's how Sri Aurobindo distinguishes between tantra and Veda. Vedic is always, Veda is, knowledge is first, knowledge leads the power. But here, either by war horse, by our daring experience, yeah, jumping into the abyss, yeah, whatever it may be, whatever the outcome, fully giving oneself to the courageous stepping towards the divine, meeting all the consequences, whatever the divine wants us, total surrender, or by knowledge, by the word rising from within the heart, by that driving force which our psychic being is representing, that Brahmanaspati within, which will be driving us with knowledge towards the realization beyond man. Either or. But we should become, our light should shine like the luminous sun, yes, among 5 Krishtis, 5 peoples. And interesting word Krishti, it's from root krish, to plow, actually, to cultivate. To cultivate the earth. Yeah? They are cultivators of the desert land. The desert has to be cultivated. It has to bring some life into it. This cultivation is actually what we are doing here. We are cultivating the material manifestation with the spirit, making it more and more alive. So each word is loaded with some deeper meaning, yeah? And all of it plays its role in the Vedic hymns. Rishis feel these words. They're meaningful to them. They're not just peoples or races. Yeah? They feel the root. They know what it means, what they do.
Thank you.
Yes, well, I tried at least. And I lost my track, most probably. I even forgot what was the question. Sorry. Sometimes it happens, you know.
No, I was just saying this either or thing. I got a feeling that it's like letting go. That means I have no willpower to exert in this matter. It's either way you You decide. Something like that.
Beautiful. I like it. Yeah, this sense, yes. Very much so. This sense that whether, whatever way, yes, but they are defined, yes, either perfect power and courage or absolute knowledge, yeah, of your leadership from within the heart. I take it. Yeah, well, either Rudra's force, Shiva's presence, or Brahmanaspati's guidance. I will take both. Yeah, you decide what way I should do it. Yeah, very nice. Very good insight. That's why va, either or. Sanobuddhi sahasiya prashamsiyah yasmin sujata ishayanta surayah yam Agni yajnam upayanti vajinah nitye toke de divansam suvedame. Awake, O forceful fire, one to be voiced by our louds. For thou art he in whom the luminous seers come to perfect birth and speed on their way. Again, Ishayanta. Yeah? O fire, thou art the sacrifice. Thou art the sacrifice, and to thee the horses of swiftness come, there where thou shinest with light in the eternal sun and in thy own home. Whoa. So here you can see that fire is the sacrifice itself. That's to Robin's question, what fire is doing. It is that transformation. Fire is that transformation, that heat, that divine will which is transforming everything and makes it more and more suitable for its own embodiment. Yeah. Awake, O powerful, who is to be praised, Prashamsiyah. Sahasiyah, powerful Prashamsiyah, to be praised. In whom perfectly born, Sujata, Yasmin Sujata, in whom perfectly born, Ishayanta Surayah, the luminous beings who seek their power, their support in you. Yasmin Sujata Ishayanta Surayah, in whom perfectly born luminous beings seek their support. So they seek their support in Him, in whom they seek their support. It is from Him these luminous seers will have their full support and power. To whom, O Agni, as Yajna, the Vajins, the powers of plenitude, come. Vajin is also the horse, and the one who possesses the plenitude. Plenitude is a loaded concept in the Veda. Sri Aurobindo uses this word all the time. It means the fullness of knowledge and power. Can you imagine fullness of knowledge and power together? We have either or, yes, we can't have them both. Those powerful people are very void of knowledge, and those knowledgeable have no power at all. But if they come together, that will be the plenitude. So the Vajins, the horses, those who possess the power, they rush onto him where he shines. They come to him where you shine in the intimate offspring and in your own home. Nitye toke, in the eternal sun. He doesn't put capital S because it's not a universal concept, Most probably it is in the individual, in the psychic being, actually. That eternal sun is a spark in everyone. And in Suvedame. Svedame is always used in his own home. Agni has his own home, and that is the supramental world. And all this world in which he shines has to become a supramental world, has to be supramentalized. It's always implied when they say Suvedame in one's own home, because in his home, he is at home in the supermind. Yeah? But he shines here, the immortal among mortals. So that means this is also a supramental home. And it will be more and more so. Only it is in time and space becoming supramental. For thou art he in whom the luminous seers come to perfect birth and speed on their way. Interesting. The speed is power. This speed is that time factor, yes? And time is Shakti, is force, power, which pushes forward, the speeding up. Speeding up means activating more and more Shakti, and mainly divine Shakti, yes? Because physical Shakti cannot be activated very fast. Of course, we can fly to the moon. Indians flew to the moon. So now, as such a celebration all over India, everybody's. And the Russians couldn't. This is an important part. Russians failed. They put billions of dollars into that thing, which just, because it's totally corrupted country of thieves. Yeah, they all steal money. They don't put it into work. They stole everything. That thing could not fly, really. It could fly kind of showing off. This is all fetish, showing off. Yeah? At least India has a chance now to move forward. Right. Didn't want to bring politics in. Ubhayasah jata vedach siyamate stotaro Agni surayascha sharmani vasvorayah purushchandrasya bhuyasah prajavatah suapatyasya shakti nach. Shakti, what a word. It's only in the Veda used from root shak, to be able, yes, make us able, be able even. O fire, O God, thou knowest all things born, Jata Vedach. May we both abide, we both, interesting, we will dwell on it, abide in thy peace, Sharmani, in your peace or in your protection. Those who hymn thee and the luminous seers, Stotarach, Surayascha, be forceful for the opulence of the treasure, Vasvachrayach, for the opulence of the treasure, be forceful, Shakti, interesting. Have Shakti for the opulence, he says, not of the opulence of the treasure, though it is off here, with the multitude of its riches, Puruchandrasya Bhuyasah, and its many delights, and its issue, and the offspring of treasure, Prajavatah Suapatyasya Bhuyasah. I will read my interpretation. O Jata Vedas, the knower of all who are born, may we be those who praise you from both ends. We have to dwell on it. We do not know what these both ends are. O Agni, as luminous seers in your constant protection and peace, and of your great luminous wealth shining with many lights, make us capable and of progeny and of the perfect offspring. I left it as it is in the text, literal, though it is heavy for English. O Jatavesas, the knower of all who are born, may we be those who praise you from both ends, O Agni, as luminous seers in your constant protection and peace. May we be those who praise you from both ends as luminous seers in your constant protection and peace.
Vladimir,
Yeah.
is it both ends, or he says here, maybe both abide in thy peace? And then he goes on to explain those who hymn thee and the luminous seers. So it could be that the both who abide in peace are the rishis as well as the one who's singing the hymn of praise. Could it be that?
There is a difficulty with grammar here because Ubhayasach is the plural and Siyama is the plural, we. Yeah? So it's like Ubhayasach is like defining us many, we many of both kinds. That's why I kind of put it into this difficult thing that we from both ends, or we on both sides, or we of double nature, something like this, yes? Maybe we of double consciousness, of inner and outer being, inner and outer consciousness, yes, on both sides, outside and inside, yes? Be this. In your protection as your luminous seers, yeah. Praising you. Praising is also a very interesting word here, stotarach. Stotarach are those who are establishing Agni within themselves, yes. They are confirming his presence within them. And of your great luminous wealth, Vasvarayach, I'm literally translating, shining with many lights, Purushchandrasya Bhuyasah, make us capable. This is how I translate Shakti, not be powerful in us, but it's very close to it. Make us capable, Shaktihinach, and of progeny, Prajavatah, and of the perfect offspring, Su Apatyasya, Shaktihinach. Of what make us capable? Of luminous wealth, shining vast and everywhere more and more, of the production, prajavatah, of having more offspring, and of the suapatya, and future offspring, which is going beyond prajas. Prajas are our first offspring, yes, and suapatya, apatya is next. It's like grand and grandchildren, yes. So children are used in the Veda not only as a production of the children, yes, children of our works, Sri Aurobindo says, children of our thought, These are our children. Everything we produce, not only the children. Children is used symbolically. Everything we bring to birth through us, through this spiritual machine, which is translating the spirit into manifestation. Everything what comes to it is our children. So here the idea is that make us capable of continuing the work in time over generations. And look how Sri Aurobindo translates, it's interesting. Be forceful for the opulence of the treasure with the multitude of its riches and its many delights and its issue and the offspring of the treasure. He avoided at all offsprings and children. There is no children at all here. Offspring of the treasure and an issue of the delight. By the way, it's an amazing thing that the production of children is also connected with the delight. And the Ananda Loka is called also Janar Loka. Janar as generation Loka. Producing anything or bringing anything from the spirit into time and space manifestation is connected with the delight. It's caused by the delight. And not only production of children, but also production of anything, any creativity. It's amazing how everything comes together. Yes? All right, and I'm moving to the last one, and we will finish with this hymn, number 13. Yes, totrebhyo go agram ashvapeshasam Agni ratimu pasrajanti surayah asmancha tanscha prahineshi vasya abrihad vadema vidathe suvirah. When of those who hymn thee, the luminous wise, set free of fire, the gift in whose front the ray cow walks, and whose form is the horse, thou leadest us on and leadest them to a world of greater riches, strong with the strength of the heroes. May we voice the vast in the coming of the knowledge. Wow. May we voice the vast in the coming of the knowledge. This is the signature of Great Samadha, yes? Abrihad Vadema Vidathe Suvirach. This is he ends all his hymns with this signature. And here also, interestingly, in Vidathe, in the gaining of the knowledge, Suvirach, may we speak vast, about the vastness. We of the perfect power in the gaining of the knowledge. So again, knowledge and power. That's what I was pointing before. Interestingly here, go agram ashvapesha sam ratim. Ratim is the gift or the wealth. Upasrajanti surayach. The luminous seers bestow or create the luminous wealth or Agni, which is decorated with the horse, Ashvapeshasam, with the cow in front, Go Agram. This is the only place where Sri Aurobindo comments on it in his Secret of the Veda on this particular verse, where he says that the Vedic way of arriving at realization was through knowledge. Knowledge, go, the light. Light is in front, and the horse moves, follows the light of knowledge. This is the exactly where he's quoting it from, Go agramashvapeshasam, where it is indicating that the power has to follow the knowledge and not other way around. And elsewhere he explains about Tantra, that Tantra has another entry to the realization. Through the exercises, through experiences, they arrive at knowledge. They have their own system of particular ways of doing things, like japas, mantras in the temple, and this and that, certain discipline, which helps them to arrive at some knowledge realization. In the Veda, it is from knowledge. That's why we are seeking knowledge. We want that knowledge because it will change our capacity to be the power. All right, I will stop here. If you have any questions, you want to share something, we finished the whole hymn.
Vladimir, who are the luminous wise? Can you just share some thoughts on this? Who are these luminous wise?
The same Surya, Suri. Yeah, they are identified with Agni for somehow. They are those representatives of Agni, the flames, the rishis, the sages, those who embody him, who work with him, who work by him, who works through him, through them. They are Surya, I think.
And are they sleeping now? Because Sano Bodhi seems to suggest that you wake up somehow, all these luminous seers. Are they somewhere in the overmind level where they need to wake up? Is that
Could be that also, that our Surya, not the universal Surya,
okay.
or even universal Surya, kind of, we are sleeping and we are not kind of. So when they awaken us, that means we awake to them. Yes, they are there, but we are here. So we have to bridge the contact with them. I think these are our universal domains of consciousness, which have to be activated through us. Otherwise,
Savitri begins with that. Savitri begins with that. It was the hour before the gods awake.
right. Well, it is the beginning of creation. Yes, it was the first creation, the fall of first emanations, and then there was the plunge of the second ones, and that was the hour before they plunged, or before they started to try to bring it back to its self-awareness. Yes.
It could also be like, the gods of consciousness. It was the unconscious hour. The gods of consciousness were not awake at that time. And through the reading of Savitri, as we progress slowly, the consciousness awakens in us. Just one of the interpretations.
This world of matter would be practically, it'll render them unconscious, I think, isn't it? It would be poisonous to them.
To the gods, you mean?
True.
Yes.
Very true.
Yes.
Well, yeah, to a certain extent, they resist this kind of darkness. They don't want to come here. Mother even speaks about this, yes, extensively. That when the offering came to them to plunge into the darkness, to redeem the fallen emanations and to bring them back to their self-awareness, they rejected. They said, no, 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 this is not for us. Sorry. We stay where we are in our overmental realm. Please don't even trouble us. We will be there, enjoying ourselves. We are not capable of bringing this back to that dark Asuric end. No, please don't. And then the Divine Mother turned to the Supreme and he said, well, find something better than gods. So she looked deeper and she found power in the Supreme, which was superior to those first emanations, greater consciousness, greater life, greater truth, greater bliss. And that power agreed to plunge into the total darkness. And that was the flame, the fire. And we are the sparks of this fire. We are those courageous beings, hero souls, who decided to really do this. That's why we got the bodies. The bodies are those transformation stations, which are constantly engaged in this battle between darkness and light.
Mm.
And we invoke the gods because they're there. They didn't come down. And we pull them down. They don't want to come down, but fire is here, which is stronger, which is the divine will, and it commands them to come down. And they come down. Okay. They go down, and once they are down, they are helping to transform our levels of consciousness and being. Yeah? Our dark corners are illumined by their presence, by their sacrifice. And this is something which we avoid to translate. Everybody avoids to translate this way. But in the Veda, it is exactly this. Agni sacrifices here the gods. He brings them down. Bring here down the gods. Sacrifice here the gods. He sacrifices them here because they don't want to come. Of course, they have one hook, which they all want, because through this sacrifice, they rise to higher level. They can change and gain a greater consciousness than they already have some supreme kind of glimpse. But they are kind of trying to get that supreme glimpse without being engaged, staying in their own realm. So this is our kind of drama here on Earth. And we can see
it's a work in progress, very much. I mean, it's not at all finished and complete.
But it's interesting how symbolically we, once we know who are the gods, that they are our own universal capacities, powers, potentials, which we have to realize, yes, because we represent Him, the Supreme, here in the individual frame. It's our birthright to invoke them, to call them down for this progress. How everything changes, yeah. It's not that we become egoistic and decide that no, we are in charge, let's do it. Yeah? But how everything, the whole perspective changes. Yes, Robin, you wanted to say something.
Well, I was just thinking about the gods, and they're wanting to benefit from the churning here on Earth, but not really wanting to get their hands dirty.
Yeah, absolutely. Nobody wants to get into this trouble as we did. Nobody wants to get into the human form even. Neither asuras nor gods, they all want to stay in their regions and benefit from us from distance, manipulating us, engaging partially through subtleties, being, through our senses, and so on. There's so many ways we can look into it, how they are really interacting with human beings without really taking the form in the human body. But Mother says even the great gods, if they want to change and grow in consciousness, they must take the human body. They have to calm down. And this is something interesting. Otherwise, they don't change. They are typal beings. They don't grow. So
I thought there was a very interesting thing. It just popped into my head here in the movie, I guess it was Achilles. It's about the Trojan War, where Achilles says to, I forget to who, he said, the gods are jealous of us,
yeah,
human beings.
To the sister of yes, to the princess. Yeah, they're jealous. I will give you a secret, tell you a secret. Jealous of us, and she's all in blood, and they brought her there. She's resisting him, wants to kill him, and he says, this moment will never repeat itself again. Look at this moment. They're jealous. Because in their typal worlds, they don't have this variety, this unexpected turn. We don't know what we got. We are adventurous spirits. If we look at our world and our life as adventure, we will see all the benefits.
True.
We want to be like typal beings, we want to have settled security and everything. And then what? And then stagnation. Yeah, we don't value this adventure. We should start valuing it.
Yeah, true. Very true. It's incredible. It's all such an incredible miracle to be alive, to be able to think, to feel, to act, to do things in the world. And if we have it with the divine consciousness in us, then I see it like we're plowing the fields of the earth. We're the plow. we're digging through the material world and transforming it.
Yeah, and we are the field, we are the plow, and we are the plower of the field. We are the material from which we create a new world. We took onto ourselves this body, which is made of this material of the earth, which has to be regenerated by the Spirit. It's amazing. Great. I will close with mantra. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Adiós.